Dancing in the moonlight, everybody was feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody is dancing in the moonlight. Chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Moon Knight. Did you see I kind of had my tongue stuck out for a little extra long there? I was like, what's it called? Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Moon Knight. Smooth, Dave. This is the kind of YouTubing excellence you've come to expect over the last 4 years of model behavior. Boom! Speaking of excellence, we're going to talk about this figure. And you know when we're going to talk about it? Right now. So, of course, we've got these new style Amazing Yamaguchi boxes, which are really sleek and smooth and kind of nice. It's like you've bought a figure in the Apple store, and then we get the figure out of the box and... oh my goodness, talk about buying something from the Apple store. This looks like Moon Knight. He's so sleek and white and bright and pristine and oh my goodness. We got to take a closer look at this because when you do, you find yourself staring at a very nice looking action figure. In fact, when I was mentally putting together what I thought might be in my action figure top 10 of the year, I did not expect a Specter. But guess what? We got Mark Specter here, and when I saw him in a display case in Yodobashi camera in Umeda, I was like, oh, I knew the pictures looked nice, but this is bonkers. He looks amazing. He looks amazing Yamaguchi. I mean, they're not called average Yamaguchi, but I asked the attendant there, I was like, "Simasen, kaimasu Moon Knight onegai shimasu?" And he was like, "Iie, chotto mate kudasai." And it turns out that he was in the display case, but he wasn't actually available to purchase. And I'm like, come on. So I was like, nanji desu ka? And he was like, wakarimasen. So it's like, so you got him on display, but you don't have him to buy. So I mumbled and grumbled and left the store. But then, lo and behold, I go to one of my favorite action figure shops, Superhero Gong in Nipponbashi. Boom! Got Moon Knight right there on the shelf. I knew I had to get him. And now we got this guy here, and I'm really impressed. Amazing Yamaguchi have been having a real quiet banger of a year. They really have. We got the Black Panther early on in January. We got the version 2 Deadpool. The two Flashes look amazing. The reverse Flash and the regular with all the crackling power effects. Amazing Yamaguchi have quietly just been beavering away, fixing past problems, refining the good stuff, and making some of the best action figures you're going to find in 1/12 scale today. So first of all, you can see in the box, we got a whole bunch of accessories, which is always lovely. 3 different expressions on the face, not hugely varying, but you just got the big eyes, the middle eyes, and the squinty, I'm about to mess these brothers up kind of eyes. It's like, oh, we're swinging into battle. That's always the look I'm going to have. And then we've got all the different weapons. We got the 2 tonfas. We got the long bow staff. We got the big moonsicle dagger type things. And then what I really love, you got the small little blades that fit between the fingers. Longtime fans of the show will remember the nightmare I had when I lost one of them from my Marvel Legends Moon Knight, who still stands up as a really good figure. But this is next level. Also, I've got the Mezco Moon Knight as well, who I thought, we ain't topping that. I think we might have topped it. Although they're completely different, which is what's great. So this one here, let's just take a look at that, at the full thing, shall we? He's got this great sort of armor type style to his costume, which lends itself so well to Amazing Yamaguchi. Because they have very kind of tessellating joints and things kind of slot and slide into place, I don't think it really works all that great for figures that are meant to be wearing spandex. If it's meant to be just like a normal human body, it looks weird the way that things are cut and the way things slide over. But if they're wearing an armored street fighting kind of suit, then it actually works. It works really well because you can see just the way that the Kevlar and the body plates and the armor would all have to move over in a practical sense. And what they've done here, designing or redesigning the costume, is really, really great. That's something I always love about Mezco and Revoltech. They will take the Marvel Comics design and then go, okay, how can we sort of tweak this to make this work even better for our style? And that's what they've done here. They've taken the basic Moon Knight design and then kind of put their own spin on it, not changing the essence of the character, but just making it work in a fashion that sort of fits their look. And also, if you've got the old Deadpool or Black Panther, you can see how the design and the articulation is very, very similar. This thing has wonderful ranges of motion. You can put him in really dynamic poses, but it's got a little bit of an almost gamified way to it. The way that things kind of slide and slot in place, you need to like line things up so that you can twist them and they tessellate just right. And I don't find that's frustrating. I find that it's just adds an extra little element to how you're posing him, because it's not fiddly. I remember the Iron Spider. The Iron Spider was fiddly. I had to really kind of play around with that to get it to do what I wanted to. This is what I'm saying about Revoltech kind of tweaking and refining and honing what they're doing. This feels like the culmination of them figuring out how best to do things. And I feel like they cracked it. They really have. Also, I gotta say, I've just watched Jay Hernandez. I watched his Top 10 Marvel Legends video, so I'll use one of his favorite lines. Buttery smooth. Buttery smooth, these joints. Because also, big confession on this one, both the Deadpool and Black Panther figures that I really like, some of their joints, like the knees, are a little bit too loose. They're a bit wibbly wobbly, it makes them hard to stand. This has got just the right amount of purchase on that he can hold his pose, hold his positions, and it looks great. Even I just randomly put him in like a leaping forward, running kind of pose. It looks great. It really does. Going from top to bottom, I love the shading on the face. You've got the dark, kind of shadowy look going down to the lighter area that's being caught in the moonlight. Caught it in the moonlight. Oh gosh, it's going to be in my head all day now. Dancing with the moon night. Everybody's feeling warm. I'm sorry, I'll stop that. You've already clicked off, haven't you? I don't blame you. So yeah, the hood and also the texture on the top of the cowl where it looks like material that's kind of folding over and creasing, really, really great stuff. One thing going down though that's a bit frustrating, there are these extra little bits, little plastic bits for the cape that you can put on there that add extra ridges and ripples, but I can't get them to fit in these holes.
Oh, as naturally said to a bishop.
And normally, I would just give this a little boiling water bath, loosen up the rubber or the plastic, and then pop them in. But the problem is the cloth cape is attached to this. So I don't want to get the cloth cape wet. So I'm going to see if someone in this apartment complex has like a hot, heavy-duty hairdryer that I can maybe just heat it up with and do it that way, because I can't, not for love nor money. Not for love nor money could you actually put these in without heating this up. Not going to happen. Forget about it. So that's kind of annoying. I wanted to show him to you with this review as he fully should be, but I just can't get those freaking things in. It was really irritating. So there you go. Even though I'm always exuberant and enthusiastic and over the top with most figure reviews, I call them like I see them as well. And that is it's annoying. But hopefully a hot hairdryer blast and I can pop those in. They'll be fine. But I'm wanting to look past it, because when you look down at the rest of his costume here, I just love all the individual panels. You can see the lovely moonsicle detailing on there as well. The great logo in the front there. Now, they've obviously made an aesthetic choice by putting all these little holes in the armor. Like, that's not something that you think, oh, they just couldn't be bothered to fill them in. It's a practical thing. No. Clearly, this is a design thing here. And like, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's okay. It adds like a different sort of dynamic to it. It looks like, I guess like bolt points where like the extra padding and armor has been bolted onto the costume. I suppose that's sort of what it's doing. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I kind of like it because it adds more sort of depth to the figure. So I'm okay with that. And then he could be very much plain because it is just grey, but they've got enough of a sort of a difference because the panels on top, the armor pieces, are kind of a flat a flat matte kind of grey, and then what would be his more sort of material costume underneath is kind of a silvery, metallic kind of grey. So dare I say that makes it pop a little bit more. And just going further down, he's got the toe articulation, which is nice. The only thing sort of missing from the paint job, which I would have appreciated, that both the Marvel Legend and I think the Mezco have as well, is kind of a pearlescent kind of look. I would have loved it if maybe the belt or maybe the forearm guards had more of a pearlescent kind of sheen to them, because that's always really pretty where you move it in the light and you get kind of a purpley kind of reflective effect. I mean, kudos to the other companies doing that. This guy doesn't have it. He's a little more flat in the design, which is okay, but it would have been nice. That's all I'm saying. It would have been nice. But then what is nice is this huge big wired cape here. Marvel Legends don't have that. Mezco doesn't have that. They have a cloth cape, but there's no wire in it. It comes with a whole bunch of stands that you're meant to put in it. It's a weird choice on that one, Mezco. They only did that once, and I think they realized, like, that doesn't work. So here we just got a classic cloth cape, which again is another example of Yamaguchi ironing out the creases, no pun intended, for their designs. Because before they used to do plastic capes with like articulation points and hinges. It wasn't great. Yeah, I don't think it worked. So finally, I think they were like, oh hey, what if we make the capes out of cape material? And someone was like, why didn't we think of that? Now they do. They look great. So this has been, as I said, a great year. Deadpool, Black Panther, now Moon Knight for the Marvel boys. That's terrific. They're doing awesome work with DC as well. I'm really impressed with Moon Knight. And also, he's got these little bits on the back, so you can stick his two shorter, what do you call them? Not tonfas. Eskrima sticks. I know Black Widow and Nightwing use them. I don't know what to call them properly. But it's great that you can store them on the character and still have them there. Loads of design options, loads of posing and accessory options. Can you tell I really kind of like it? Also, you know, I love the little blue. The little blue in the eyes. He looks mean, man. Like if this guy was coming at me because I was some mugger in an alley trying to rob an old lady of her purse, I'd be like, yo, I'm so sorry. Just take the purse. I'd cuff me. I'm good to go, because this guy's gonna mess you up. I love that. He looks so mean, like a badass. Let's give him a grade. And as a final grade for the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Moon Knight, I'm going to give him 4.5 stars with a boom seal of model behavior. I was tempted to give him 5 stars, but I think I got a little salty with not being able to pop in the other accessories without heating up and stuff. Hey, look, you could argue him 5 stars. I mean, he is really great, but I'm trying to be a little bit harsh every now and then. Dave's got to, you know, not just give everything 5 stars. But also, I got to point out something about Amazing Yamaguchi. They love having the knee pads stick out and jut out like that when you bend the knee, Game of Thrones style. And at least for this guy here, it works. With their Spider-Man, it always looks a bit odd, like why is Spider-Man's knee sticking out? But with Moon Knight, that's fine. Of course it sticks out. It's a knee pad. It's a knee pad on his costume. I'm okay with that. And just, I'm enjoying moving his knee just because it's so buttery smooth. Oh! And another thing that they've refined as well, the thighs, or the hamstrings more to the point, look so much better. Before, Amazing Yamaguchi, to give it like a nice big bend in the knee, they would end up actually cutting out the back of the leg, so like the character had no hamstring. Again, Iron Spider looked really bad for that. But this, they actually have a more human looking hamstring. That's really nice. And then you can tuck the knee in there. That works great. One thing that's still a little bit problematic is that he does have still like the ball joint shoulders, which, you know, while they do allow a good range of motion, it means that you still have that look of the ball joint. But again, he's got this huge, big, gorgeous cape, which covers up a lot of sins, so you can get away with it. So I will allow that, because you know what, whatever pose you have him in, it doesn't look like he's got the big dumbbell joints, unlike friggin' Guts from Figure Arts, where it's just like, hello, look at this ugly, awful joint on display. Moon Knight, it's hidden so much better. Then with the wonderful ab crunch, the torso articulation, the swivel, there's just so much you can do with it. And so far, it hasn't popped off either. Sometimes when you overextend Revoltech, the torso or the hips will pop off. Not in this case. I mean, I'd rather things pop off than break, but nonetheless, just not having that happen at all, that's much more preferred. So this, he's so good. I've been rabbiting on for a while, but I really, really like him. So gang, I highly recommend Moon Knight. Alright, but guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about Revoltech? Were you put off by their original figures and now you're starting to come around to them? Comment below, let me know. And also, if this comes out before Christmas, which hopefully it should do, then be sure to get your Christmas videos in for the Model Behavior Christmas special. Just send me a video to the address below telling me what your action figure of the year was. 30 to 60 seconds, film it, easy for me to say, in landscape format and tell me your name, where you're from, and what your action figure of the year was. And I'll put it in the Christmas special, and it'll be a good time. Just like this Moon Knight was also a good time. Like I said, my top 10 figures at the start of the year, I did not expect a Specter, but here he is. So gang, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee. Big time coffee.